Have you felt that the door in front of you is starting to yield slightly under your touch? It's not the door labeled achievement, nor the one through which everyone else seems to have already passed. It's not the door you've been trying to open with fervent prayers or a lengthy list of reasons to be let in. Pause for a moment before reaching for that handle again. Before this message ends, I want to explain why the silence on the other side felt like rejection, even though it was something entirely different. My word already settled today's outcome before either of us spoke. There is an entrance before you that can't be closed by anyone or anything, not the strain of a tough week or the guilt of having stayed away too long. Take a moment here. No rush awaits inside this room. Pause right here. No performance, no apologies, no rehearsed lines, just you, the door and me, already leaning from the other side. This isn't solely about a door on hinges. It's about every barrier you silently assumed stood between us. A gate requiring a password, a window staying shut unless you've earned the light, a lock imagined to be for the deserving only. None of these impressions were ever about physical barriers. It concerned the belief that closeness must be earned first. I notice how your hand rests hesitantly on that handle. It's not because you don't want to enter. Some part of you decided long ago that the space beyond it is reserved for those with larger requests. You've knocked with burdens in hand, hoping they justify entry and prove worthiness. But when answers weren't immediate, you assumed I'd bolted it shut from my side, the one who prays quickly between meetings and closes an app before a sentence finishes displaying. I've already heard everything, even the parts deleted before sending. Like a man speaking briefly to his landlord at the end of a workday, quick, formal, finished once business is done, none of this is concealed from me. Why does an entrance we built together feel like it belongs to someone else? Take another look at the entrance itself. Every threshold has a strip worn smooth by countless crossings before yours ever occurred. That worn place remembers. It retains the shape of everyone who paused there, uncertain before finally stepping through. Yours is no exception. Every bit of hesitation you've ever shown while standing in front of me has been observed without judgment. You don't need to revolutionize your life to be worthy of this visit. It's not necessary to have resolved your guilt, broken habits, fixed schedules, or healed your family before feeling welcome here. Bring the version of yourself that exists at this moment unfinished and slightly weary. That is the only version I've ever been interested in. I've never been keen on meeting an edited version of you. Even when a notification interrupts a prayer and gets more attention than finishing a sentence to me, it's all right. When every gap that could welcome quiet gets filled by calendar entries, you're not unusual. You're simply someone living in a world designed to disrupt the stillness that I keep encouraging you to seek. I'm not trying to compete with your phone for a place in line. I'm just asking you to recognize how seldom anything gets your full focus nowadays, including me, and to give it purposefully at least once. Right here, I have waited at my own doorstep more often than you might imagine, hoping for the handle to turn from your side rather than mine. Not because I'm locked out, but because I made this a place where you have the choice to enter, not a place where I drag you in. The longing isn't new to me. I've wanted this for longer than you've wished for it with me. That's something strange for a father to say openly, but here it is nonetheless. Long before today, someone handed you an image of authority, cloistered behind a closed office door, busy, important, accessible only through intermediaries, available solely for emergencies, and not the ordinary afternoons. That image seems stitched onto me. So when answers didn't arrive according to your timetable, you assumed it was due to being too busy. It was never too busy. It was merely waiting for you to come in and stay, instead of knocking once and leaving.
Here's a small gesture before we move forward. Allow your shoulders to relax just a little, not as a performance for others, but enough for me to know you meant it. That's enough for now. There's no need for a particular posture, formula, or the right words.
In this brief, unguarded pause, there's no need for composure. You aren't required to justify why it's taken so long since you last came here without a predetermined agenda. The mother dashing from school to the kitchen, bracing for an anticipated call, has learned to pray in snatches, managing laundry on her feet. The father, after his second shift, converses with me during his drive home, speaking in short intervals at red lights, and apologizes for what little he's able to bring. I never left. I simply moved my chair closer to the door and have remained here. Some of you already recognize this room, the one with a door that closes, where you've knelt beside a bed countless nights, uttering words only you heard. That time was never wasted. It was always meaningful. Every word you whispered reached me before it even fully formed in the air. A student, staring at a rejection letter, feels a path to a better future has been sealed. It hasn't. Doors close, but entryways endure. Hinges remember how to move, even when abandoned. A teenager sits at the edge of her bed after a challenging day, phone face down, unsure if her wordless prayers count. They do. A man in a hospital waits anxiously outside double doors, believing that what transpires beyond them is beyond any control, even mine. It isn't. They needed no passwords or excuses. The door itself was never the barrier, it was the hesitation. Here lies a question worth considering. What have you been doing instead of stepping inside? You've been rehearsing explanations and apologies for the time spent away, as if distance was the issue rather than the fear keeping you at bay. None of that preparation was necessary, not a single part of it. You've become accustomed to offering me leftovers, the moments between tasks, those just before sleep or at red lights. But I'm asking for more than that, a complete and undivided attention, like you'd give to someone who traveled far just to be with you. Set aside the remnants for once and give me your whole focus. Here is where the misunderstanding ends. This isn't an exclusive appointment requiring qualification. It has always been an invitation from someone who knows every reason you might have for remaining outside and welcomes you in anyway. Your worth has never been under scrutiny here, nor has it been tested. The essence of this place is simply a moment of waiting. Imagine the sound of a house with a single important resident and a queue of people outside, all eager for a chance to be noticed. There's a receptionist, a schedule, and a door that opens only for the urgent case. It remains closed for the mundane one. This familiar image somehow made its way into your perception of me, but it doesn't belong there. It was borrowed from those too weary, too hurt, or too proud to offer anyone a private moment. Over time, this picture mistakenly bore my name instead of theirs. I am not managing a waiting room or sitting at a desk deciding who deserves the next available slot. The reality is quite the opposite. I am the one standing at the doorway, hand ready on the wood, asking to enter whatever room you're really in. Whether it's the kitchen with dishes still in the sink, the car in the driveway where you linger for an extra few minutes, or the office where you have yet to close your laptop, it's all the same to me. I'm not awaiting the ideal version of you. I'm asking for the real you. Consider two people at the same house. One is merely a guest with an appointed time, while the other is family with a key they forgot they had free to walk in without appointment because it's their home too. You've been living like the first when you were meant to be the second. No one's buzzing you in because no one ever had to. Think about what a door really represents. It isn't a barrier, but rather a possibility. It invites entry if that's what you choose. It was constructed so two sides could meet, not remain apart. Every door you've faced was built with hinges, not just a frame designed to move, open, and let something through. What you've seen as unyielding was just potential waiting for action. You've never been shut out. You've simply stood close to an opportunity without seeing it for what it is. You focused on whether it looked closed instead of trying the handle without expecting anything in return. There's an age-old promise that states, whoever asks, receives, whoever seeks, finds, and whoever knocks will find it open. Notice it doesn't claim whoever knocks the loudest or waits the longest gains entry. It's a simple truth. Knock, and it opens. This isn't about negotiating terms. It's about an entry that leans toward you before you even touch the wood. If the yearning behind that closed door has a name, let it be near just that, without lengthy explanations or justifications for why you deserve an answer. Some have spent their lives guarding a doorway like a soldier at a border, always alert and never resting, fearing silence as a precursor to loss. That's exhausting work and not what I asked of you. I didn't assign you a post to defend. I offered you a home to inhabit. Others have settled for visiting instead of staying, showing up in crises but leaving before any ordinary conversation begins, afraid it might cost something dear, time or honesty. But none of that is required here. I'm not asking for your polished self. Underneath this narrative lies an even older story. A house with two sons. One stayed, growing resentful, thinking obedience had earned him something. The distance you've been measuring wasn't real. I've always been closer than the door, longing for this connection with you long before you considered wanting it yourself. Express it if it helps, in your words and space, with no one else listening. You don't need my phrasing. A single truthful line is enough. There's no need for grander reasons to come in a longer list, or heavier problem isn't necessary. The one who holds this doorway has never turned away from the sound of your hand on its wood. Enter or exit. Find rest in both journeys.